Well, hey there. You must be the lucky listener that got picked as my first ever guest star. Glad to meet you, darling. The name's Verulo, but you can call me the Harbinger. Don't be shy now, I don't bite. Just a bit of light character work to get into the mood. Now, if I work with someone, I tend to know their name. The subject of the matter is yours. Ah, what a lovely name, and fitting for a lady so young and lively. It's a pleasure to have you here, miss. Quite a pleasure. Now, before we get started, I'm gonna need you to sign this waiver for me. It's just all the usual stuff, you know? So we don't get sued for things like on-site injuries, the catching of the flu, or even violent dismemberment. Oh, calm down, that last one's just a joke. No one working here has been dismembered. At least not yet. Excellent. Welcome, darling, to the streets of the Macabre. I'm happy to have you here, darling. And pardon my boldness, but I've never worked with someone as aesthetically pleasing as you before. That flustered expression of yours suits you, my dear. Your face is red as a beet. Oh, calm down, dearie. I'm only teasing. I'm just prepping you. I want your reactions in the booth to be realistic. Oh, didn't you know? Our entire show is improvised. Why, you won't find a single script in this building. You see, here we strive for authenticity. Gives the show that chilling feeling you don't get from any other broadcast. Don't you worry your head about that, hon. I'll be doing all the story work. You simply need to react to the situations and respond accordingly. You'll know when I need you to say something. Now, for the first part of the show, I'll have you wait out here while I set the stage. Once we go into intermission, I'll call you in. You'll be able to hear the broadcast over the intercom. Don't be afraid to take the time to look around the studio. Familiarize yourself with the place. It's all you'll be seeing for a while. Oh, nothing. We're about to go on air now, so I'll see you in just a few minutes, darling. Don't miss me too much while I'm gone, okay? Mwah. Break a leg. Welcome back, my charming listeners, to another episode of The Streets of the Macabre, with me, your host, the Harbinger. The only show that tells you true stories about the paranormal that take place in this very town. This broadcast marks a very special day for the show, our anniversary. That's right, folks, we've been on air for a year now, and we're still going strong. And I've got a special treat for you tonight, folks. Tonight's tale of horror involves a very special guest. One of our most consistent listeners, in fact. They've seen the horrors this world has to offer, and have offered up their voice to help me convey it to you all. And what's more, I'll have a special surprise for both you and them at the end of tonight's broadcast. All of that, and more, after a word from tonight's sponsor. Oh, darling, I'm ready for you. There's no need to be nervous, my dear. I'll be right here the whole time if you don't know what to say. Just follow my lead and you'll be just fine. Now please, do come in. We mustn't keep the audience waiting. Have a seat, my dear. Our show is about to begin. As I said before, you needn't be nervous. I will guide you through all of it. Now, what say we give 'em one hell of a show? Going live in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, my charming listeners. I have sitting with me here our lovely guest. Tell us, dear, what's your name? A lovely name indeed. Now, I wanted to start off today's show by thanking you. You've been listening since day one and stuck with us up till now. Tell me, darling, has anything strange ever happened to you during that time? Feelings of dread, seeing people behind you and vanishing when you turn your back, things like that? Interesting. What about buildings you've never seen before and you're certain weren't there until you noticed them? Oh, that seemed to get your attention. Well, before you answer, allow me to intrigue you all with a fascinating tale of mine. One that has not a single falsehood.
1 year ago, a brand new mysterious radio show appeared out of nowhere. No one knew any of the crew, and no one had ever even heard of the studio producing it. Almost as if it simply manifested on the airwaves. The hero of the story heard the first broadcast and was instantly allured by the mystery. The show spoke to her in such a way that she just had to know more. So she kept tuning in every night for an entire year. She listened to every marvel, every horror the show had in store. It became her addiction. That host in his seductive voice, always promising adventure, but it always inevitably ending. One day, she hears that the show is accepting call-ins for a special prize, the spot as a guest star on her favorite show. With an offer like that, why, how could she refuse? So she called in on the spot, and wouldn't you know it, she won. Starting to sound familiar, dear? How do I know all of this? Oh, darling, I know a lot more about you than you might think. Like how when you got here, you thought to yourself that you've never seen this building before. That's not a coincidence. This place can only be seen by those who know where it is. Keeps the studio nice and secure from undesirables. Keeps those in without the key, too. Comes with the territory. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, welcome, dearie, to your new home. And just where do you think you're going? Darling, if you take another step, I will tear you apart and record your screams for the next broadcast. Understand? Good girl. Now sit back down. I still have a show to finish. And now, what are you but a captive audience? Oh, don't be afraid, my dear. I won't hurt you. As long as you don't make me hurt you. I really don't want to do that. Now on with our story for all those still listening. The hero received a cryptic letter in the mail giving the location of her show's studio. She meets with the host, and after some light banter, she signs her soul away of her own free will. Oh, darling, you didn't really think that was a safety waiver, did you? I'm afraid you've been duped. And now you belong to me. Oh, my beautiful darling. I knew you'd be my brilliant co-star ever since that first lonely broadcast. You're mine, and now everyone listening knows it. Watch your language, dearest. If you take that tone with me, your master, just know that I'm not afraid of hurting you. I won't kill you. You're far too beautiful for that. But I will make sure my point gets across. You've heard it here, folks. The Streets of the Macabre has a brand new voice. But don't feel left out. After all, I still have all of your souls to collect. Our shining star here will always be mine first, but I will take all of you listening as well. It's only a matter of time.
That's right, folks. I will run this world. I will own each and every one of you, and there's nothing any of you can do to stop me. Me and my darling co-host here have some private business to attend to now. So have a good evening, and stay tuned.
You seem frightened, my dear. I hate to disappoint you, but none of that was an act. As I said, there wasn't a single falsehood to that story. And no, you can't leave here. No one will be coming to find you. Anyone outside of here with any sense will simply think that this was all fiction. A bad nightmare, if you will. Your scared whimpering is adorable. I truly did pick the right individual to keep as my pet. Come along with me now, my lovely lady. It's high time we both head off to bed. I'm told I'm an excellent cuddle partner, my love. This is the beginning of your new life with me.